when we lived in Florida, alligators were just, they were a nightmare. Like, they were not your friend. They were just a hell of a conversation.
What's going to be your friend, Ryan?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I thought it was
You
going
pet
to
them
be.
gently. All right, go ahead, everyone.
Just talking to Adam Larson, he was just saying one of the things they have to be more cognizant of, making sure that they don't shield Phillip when it comes to those sort of long distance shots. Like, what's been like some of those other conversations you've had, whether it's been about like making sure you're not shielding Phillip or whatever, that could kind of help tighten those defensive details?
You know, we want to make sure we're cleaning up details without trying to get too perfect. There's a fine line there, and you just mentioned a couple of the flash screens that have gone in front of our goaltenders. You know, there was one that happened in Vegas. And also in one of our I don't know if it was the Minnesota or the Anaheim game, but there's little details that we want to clean up. Right now, we're playing pretty good hockey, and we haven't had any results to show for it. So we have to really focus on some of the little details that we can clean up without taking away our enthusiasm, without taking away our competitive spirit, and all of those things that are very, very important to maintain.
You just talked about making sure, like, hey, you want to play well but not be too perfect. Like, what's that conversation like with guys where you want them to play well, but you don't want them to put all this undue pressure on themselves? Because like guys like Mark Giordano talked about after Minnesota, like when you try to be too perfect, mistakes happen. So what's been that discussion?
Again, just as you watch practice today, just making sure that we have good life, we have good energy. We're doing things at a high level, and those rather than conversations, really that's where it comes from. It comes from going out and doing the work and doing those things together. It's not always just through a conversation that can put those things into place.
Is that part of being a pro hockey player, that you're going to go through a stretch where maybe you're playing well, but
Yeah.
the results aren't there, you got to keep fighting through it or work on do it if you really want to stay in the league?
It is. Everybody in our dressing room has been through it. It's not a fun thing to go through. Nor is there any manual as to how it turns around. The distinct thing is that it does turn around, and often it comes and happens in different ways, and it can turn around quickly and snowball the other direction. As long as, like I said, as long as you stay together, as long as you continue to have good enthusiasm and good work ethic, and continue to work on the legitimate details that we would like to improve, those things have a way of turning.
We saw Mason Appleton today. What's kind of sort of the latest with him? And I mean, I don't know if the timeline exists, but like, what is sort of the thought about Mason and his progress and where he could be?
Yeah, really happy to see him on the ice and doing as much as he did today. That's very good progress. I don't know a timeline, but it's we're getting closer. So it was, like I said, it was a real good sign to see him on the ice today and able to do as much as he did. Now we'll see how everything how that reacts and where we're at tomorrow morning, and then take the next step from there. Positive sign, but again, I really don't know a timeline.
The power play started to click a bit in recent games. How much of a difference has Marcus Johansson made to that unit, and what is it that he does that brings a bit of a difference?
Yeah, he's been a real difference maker to our entire game. I believe both 5-on-5 as well as the specialty teams. Number one, he brings that veteran presence, a real confident presence. If you look throughout his history, he's outstanding in entering the zone. He's a machine coming into the zone. He helps us gain entry and get set up into our spots. And then he's been in that familiar spot, from goal line to net front, where he's very efficient and very comfortable. He's a player that he makes others around him better on that power play by putting them in good spots. And again, just his veteran presence and the confidence that he brings, we believe is very, very important. And you can see that now start to, it's coming to the forefront on our power play.
We're talking about good starts in period one, and Turbo mentioned the mentality begins at morning skate. What kind of core values do you see amongst your leaders that instill that day by day with this group?
Just reminding ourselves to be good pros. Nothing is. There's a reason for everything, right? There's the reason that that we do things. There's a reason for everything that's on the schedule, and I believe what Turbo probably is talking about is just being a good pro and taking advantage of that and making sure that that piece of your preparation is in place, and by doing that, that empowers you going into a game. When you know you've prepared well, prepared diligently, I believe that relaxes you as you go into a game. You know you've done the work.
How do you define a good start? Because against Minnesota, you only had 3 shots, but Minnesota only had 6, so it was a fairly evenly played.
Yeah,
how do you define
every game is a little bit different, and when I add up, you're right. It's different every night. To be honest with you, we didn't generate very much against Minnesota. So when I look at our start, I evaluated that start. I thought we left something on the table. I didn't think we. It comes down to little things. I didn't think we started many shifts with the puck, which means our line changes weren't as sharp as they could be, especially in our home building. So we weren't able to generate a whole lot. We didn't give up a lot, but we still gave up 2 or 3 good scoring chances against. We ended up, not gaining the lead, and that, in essence, I've talked about it before. This is a tough league to play from behind in, and we put ourselves in that position against a good team in our own building. So, we'd like to do that better.
When you talk about the ideal start, you got to start that, as you mentioned, but what are other things you're looking for? Is it maybe hearing more on ice communication? Is it other things that you look for? And also, how do you go about evaluating all those different things at once, given that you're responsible for looking at several different items at once?
Like I said, every game is going to be different. Every opponent's a little bit different, but you want to start the game ready. So in our building, with the type of atmosphere that we have, it's a huge benefit. If we can get out to a good start and have our crowd involved, and have that energy flow right along with us. And it's not going to be easy to do necessarily, night in and night out. But there's little pieces in terms of puck possession and momentum and pushing the right direction that can set you up for a good 60-minute effort.
It looks like you guys shuffle things up on the back end paired-wise. Can you tell us about sort of the thought process that goes into deciding when it's time to change things up with your defense players?
Well, there's no manual in terms of shifting things. We've made changes regularly. The one pair that has stayed together quite a bit has been Losey and Lars. We made a change there today. With Lars, I think it makes a lot of sense with Lars going with Dunner. Just an overall evaluation. We had the full day yesterday to take a look and run through our last 5 games and look at different opportunities to get a little bit better. Without, like I said, looking to break down too many things and overthink it. We looked at a lot of things, through the day yesterday, and just feel like, this gives us an opportunity for some fresh pairs and some pairs that make a lot of sense together. And, we'll give them now, some time to build a little bit of chemistry.
You got some 6-on-5 work at the end of practice, which is something you see each of the last couple of games. What are you looking to work on and improve in that situation?
Just confidence in spots, knowing roles, possession off face-offs, possessions off 50-50 pucks, how we want to get in the zone. Nothing more specific than that. Just a comfortability with the two groups and knowing what their roles are individually and collectively in the different situations, whether we have the puck or we don't have the puck.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.